So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the stage Paul Turner and Kenny Elmore.
Hey everybody. All right, so as Jim mentioned, both Kenny and I were students at the Stanford Jazz Workshop. We came out here to do the direct appeal tonight. It's very important to us. We grew up around here just like all of you guys. Kenny went to Gunn in Palo Alto, and I went to MA down in what is now lovingly called Menlo Parking Lot for Facebook. We both were campers here. We both grew up to be faculty and staff, and now we both work at the Cupertino Fruit Company down the street. In fact, Kenny and I met through a hiring committee that I was on. I looked down at the resume and there's Stanford Jazz Workshop. I'm like, this is awesome. I had the pleasure of being confused how to disclose this to the rest of the hiring committee as either my alma mater or my family. And that's how much Stanford Jazz Workshop means to me. So Kenny obviously got the gig and we've been friends and colleagues ever since. So we'd love to be able to just start the show and, oh my God, we're here for sound check, it's amazing. It's going to be amazing. But the direct appeal is work. Jim is out here every night because the camp has grown so much over the years. There are more and more kids that we can reach. And he's got to be prepared just in case some parent or teacher or band leader calls up and says there's some prodigy 13-year-old cellist / trombone player, or some goofy drummer kid who's got some kind of potential maybe. Or, like Kenny, some force-wielding Jedi, perfect pitch. That's you. It's worth it. And that's why, actually, honestly, I see, we were out in front, I see alumni in the audience tonight, and you know who you are. And I know that you're better off for knowing that you were able to be here, and it's worth it. So that's why Kenny and I were proud to come out here and just to say thank you. We would just love to say thank you to all the donors, Jim, obviously the faculty and the staff, the volunteers, the students who are going to be the alumni of the future. This is your future, by the way. The Stanford Jazz Workshop, it means so much to us. And hopefully just by our contributions to the Valley, that we're positive examples of Stanford Jazz Workshop's influence. And it's not just us, there's tons of us alumni out there, and it's not just the Valley, it's around the world. So that's kind of what Stanford Jazz Workshop really is, right? We're not learning the melodies and chord progressions to 1930s George Gershwin songs just for the heck of it, yeah, right? We are learning the traditions and the history and how to communicate in the most universal and honest language in the world. One that connects us beyond race or religion or gender or geography, because a B flat is a B flat is a B flat is a B flat is a B flat, no matter who plays it. And I'll give you one secret to life, and that is if you know the head to Tenor Madness, Straight No Chaser, or The Chicken, you have a friend anywhere in the world. Now, there are going to be a lot of horn player friends, which it's all right. Honestly, the biggest lesson that you can learn with a jazz education is, and I gotta say, this is probably the most important lesson that we can teach our kids, and that's just how to listen. Jazz is an art form where listening and understanding have to be in perfect balance. It's incredible. It blows my mind. So anyway, for Kenny and I to come out here tonight and do the direct appeal, our direct appeal is a little bit different. We're not asking for donations, so, we're actually asking for investments. As former faculty and scholarship students, we're putting the call out there to all of you, and you know who you are, to invest in your Stanford Jazz Workshop moment, that moment that you hold with you for the rest of your life. Just those magical moments. So we put a list together of all of our moments. We'd be here all night. We never really listened to this amazing concert. So we're just going to talk about a couple tonight. Maybe your moment is that first ensemble. Yeah, that first ensemble that you joined, where you went from becoming, you were all strangers, and then you became a band because you listened and you trusted each other. And you played a concert at the end of the week, and you took a solo, and everybody ended on the same note, and you smiled, and you had confidence forever. So invest in that confidence. Maybe you're like Kenny and I, and maybe your moment is every moment that you get to spend with Bob Murphy, Bob Murphy, one of the most kind and generous and encouraging educators in the entire world. So invest in that friendship, invest in all the faculty, invest in Bennett Pastor moments, where Bennett Pastor, you'll come in, I love watching the kids do this, they'll come back for the next year and they'll go, they think they have every one of Bennett Pastor's jazz, kung fu, in their bag, and he just goes, okay, and he just whips out whole notes, just blows their mind. Invest in those faculty moments, invest in Peter Stoltzman moments. I mean, come on, invest in Allison Miller moments, in Dana Stevens moments, in Victor Lynn moments, Andrew Spate moments, Rufus Reed moments. Invest in all those moments. Invest in the moment that you found Latin music. Maybe through John Santos, Wayne Wallace, or Tupac Mantilla. I told him backstage, I said, I'm just going to say your name and everybody's going to cheer. Maybe you figured out that mambo meant party. Something was seductive about salsa, but bossa nova. That's what the sound of love is. So invest in the sound of love. Invest in traditions like the Charlie Parker Memorial Jam, which I love to this day. Wherever you are in the world, you can listen on the wind and hear now's the time. And it's just a great tradition to remind yourself to honor the past and be optimistic about the future. There's so many musical moments that happen right on the stage, and we're going to get to one in just a minute. One of which the Kenny I love was the McCoy Tyner concert, that solo piano concert, where one piano was pouring just symphonies of music out into the crowd, with just 10 fingers and 88 keys, and then there's just this swinging, tapping foot on the stage. The Turtle Island String Quartet concert rocked. String Quartet rocked. Anytime that Julian Lage gets on the stage, anytime that Taylor Icey gets on the stage, invest in those incredible moments. Wynton Marsalis, Dizzy Gillespie, I'm missing a million of them. Invest in that night that we spent with Joe Henderson before he passed, or that morning that we got with Louis Belson. Invest in the fact that we were so lucky to have those moments. Invest in Ruth Davies Blues Night. Invest in All-Star Jams. Invest in Kenny Elmore Night. Invest in Duke Ellington Night. Anyway, there's so many incredible moments with Stanford Jazz Workshop, and that's our direct appeal. Please invest in your Stanford Jazz Workshop moment and make sure that it is there for the next generation. And speaking of moments, let's get on to having one tonight with Overjoyed, a tribute to Stevie Wonder. Please get your hands together and bring to the stage Miss Allison Miller on drums, Mr. Josh Thurston Milgram on bass, and Mr. Bennett